I bet. Welcome back to another episode of Toxiris Rates. We ain't have that in a minute. Well, let's get it started with a couple singles. We also got a couple projects. Let's get it. First single we got, About You by Blxst. Well, it's a pretty standard Blxst single, to be honest. I do think it is better than most of the songs he dropped with his homie Bino Rido, whatever. But that's just because it's a whole Blxst song without any features, and I think Blxst is an artist that doesn't need any features. But I do think if he keeps on making this style all the time, it could get stale really, really fast. So I think he gotta switch up soon. But for now, it's a pretty solid single, and I really enjoyed it. Next up, we got Rambo by Joyner and Lil Durk. Also pretty good, but I feel like Joyner is like his recent singles. He's had a lot of features like Lil TJ, J. Cole, Lil Durk now. And he's been doing everything but like making the shit he got popular for. Making the music he got popular for. I don't mind it because I don't really like a lot of classic Joyner. I do like a couple songs though. I'm pretty sure this is anything but satisfying to a Joyner fan, because I don't think a Joyner fan wakes up in the morning and is like, yo, let me bump that new Lil Durk. Let me bump that new Lil TJ. J. Cole maybe. And well, he has a way more melodic style, and I enjoyed it. I really like these songs. I mean, this is probably one of the worst from those songs. I think the one with TJ is probably the best. Life Unfolds. Anyway, pretty solid single. I think Durk does his thing, but honestly, Joyner is better on this track in my opinion. Then we got Sinister by Cordae and Lil Wayne. If you just look at the rapping, it is very, very good rapping, and you can again tell Cordae is very talented. It doesn't really sound as well to me. Like, I like the rapping and I like the beat, but I feel like the rapping should be done over another beat, and the beat should have another, well, not another rapper, but another flow on it. Doesn't mean he's offbeat though. It just kind of sounds odd to me. I don't know. Lil Wayne comes in and does alright. Prime Wayne would shit on him, but come on, could be worse. Overall, solid single. You can have a listen. I think Cordae has way better songs, but it's alright. Then for the last single of the day, we got Wandered to LA by Juice WRLD and Justin Bieber. Although it is pretty obvious, I did listen to this one for Juice WRLD. I am not a huge Justin Bieber fan. I don't think I ever played a Justin Bieber song. But this is still pretty good, and Justin Bieber does his thing too. Like, Justin Bieber performs. He doesn't ruin the song, and that's already something. I do think Juice WRLD carries in, and I do think Juice WRLD will be the reason for most people listening. For the circumstances, this is a pretty good song. I enjoy the topic. I enjoy the hook. Solid, but nothing too great. Then we get to the projects where we have 2 EPs and 2 albums. Obviously, we start off with the EPs. First one being Pretty Girls Love Toosii by Toosii. That title is corny as hell, but the EP is very good actually. It's 3 songs, and those 3 songs are all very good. I do think Toosii is an artist made for shorter projects because he doesn't really switch up as much as he could. And I do think that works on a 3-track EP, but not as much on a very long album. He does have a couple good projects, so I'm not denying that. Very good project, really liked it. And yeah, then we get into the next EP, which is Lil Peep and Harry Fraud, aka Collaboration of My Dreams. Not really, but I really like Harry Fraud and I really like Lil Peep. High Fashion. Another 3-track EP with material I've never heard before. I don't know if it has been released before. I'm not the biggest Peep fan, but I do enjoy a lot of his stuff. And I gotta say, I really, really enjoy this. It is really refreshing to hear some new Lil Peep music because, well, I haven't in years. I think these beats are great and the vibes are great. Overall, 3 tracks, very, very good. I wish there was more, honestly. Then we get to the 2 albums. The first one being Who is Nardo Wick by Nardo Wick. Boring. Horribly boring. I was actually kind of hyped for this project because the 2 songs I had heard, aka the one with Future and Who Wants Smoke, aka the song who was very viral this year. I like both of those songs, and I bumped both of those songs a lot. But I listened to this project and it kind of sounded like Shiesty Season, but worse. Like, he didn't sound like Pooh Shiesty on this project, don't get me wrong, but it's always the same. It has pretty stale production, and once the production switches up, that's a good song. Once the production has like something in it where it's like switching it up, then the song is way better. But because that is not the case on many songs, this album is pretty boring to me on a lot of ends. Still, it's alright. Could be worse, but it could be shorter, and it could have better beats, in my opinion. Last project of the day, probably what you all waited for. What I already dropped the first reaction for this. Hall of Fame 2.0 by Polo G. And I said it in my first reaction, and I'm actually not gonna take back many of the takes I had in that first reaction, even though I listened to it 5 more times. It's better than the original. The song with Young Levy, whatever, still sucks. I mean, it doesn't suck, it's not bad, but it's one of the worst on the project, and that is not only because of Young Liv, also because of Polo. Like, re-listening to that track, they both weren't that good. Piano G kind of grew off of me after a couple listens. Like, it's still good. I think it's still top 7 or something, but it's not number 1. And well, overall, it is a very solid project. I really liked a couple of those features. How I said it in my first reaction: Moneybagg Yo, Lil Baby, Lil TJ. Also, that Lil TJ song really grew on me. I don't think it's the worst collab from the two anymore. It is just great overall. I think this project is pretty good. I think it doesn't reach the heights of Die a Legend and maybe not even the GOAT. It is still very solid and a step up from Hall of Fame, aka the original, not the deluxe. With that being said, I thank y'all for watching, for listening. Let me know what you think about these projects. Have a great one.
Remember back then, all them hoes ain't want me. Now I'm ballin', all them same hoes on me. Mama told me that this came with the money and the motherfucking fame, even though I feel the same. I'm that nigga now. I'm that nigga now. I'm that nigga now. I'm that nigga now.